everybody, it's Dr. Jo, and today I'm going to show you some median nerve glides and stretches. So let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. So with median nerve glides, some people also call it nerve flossing. Some at the end I actually call stretches because you are stretching that nerve just a little bit. You're flossing it or gliding it, but some people have a little controversy, are you actually stretching it or gliding it? So I'm going to call it both. We're going to start off with some really simple ones that are actually the gliding, where you're gliding the nerve, and then we're going to get a little bit more where you're going to feel it a little bit more, which might become a stretch. Anytime you're working with a nerve, if you're flossing it, gliding it, or stretching it, you don't want to do a lot. I would say only do 10. Maybe even if you're doing all of these in a row, just do 5 of each, because if you do too many, you're just going to flare up that nerve even more. So this one is not do a whole lot, just do a little bit and see how you feel, because you can irritate that nerve even more. So the first one, I'm going to break it down into a couple steps because it's a whole lot put together. And so I'm just going to start it. You can follow along with me and then we'll do the full one afterwards. So you're just going to kind of have your hand up with your palm in a closed position with your thumb out in front. So your elbow doesn't have to be all the way up, but you do want it out to the side. Once you get into this position, you're going to open everything up. So your wrists and your hands are kind of in that neutral position, fingers as straight as you can get them. Then you're going to kind of take your thumb out, almost like you're pointing at yourself with your thumb. You're giving yourself a thumbs up. And then after that, you're just going to bend it back, almost like you're holding a tray if you were a server. Once you get to that, you're probably going to feel it just a little bit, and then you're going to turn it around like you're going to put the tray down. And then after you get it into this position, still with your fingers straight and your wrist extended, you're going to straighten out your arm like you're putting that whole tray down onto the table. So you want to do that in a smooth motion. That's just kind of breaking it down to make it a little bit easier for you. So fist with thumb, open up, thumb out, wrist back, turn it around, and open up. So again, just do maybe 4 or 5 of these because we're going to go into some other ones. So that's just kind of getting it going, getting it flossing or gliding a little bit. The next one is you're going to have your elbow up a little bit higher this time. So you're going to start with your palm facing you, and then you're going to open it up kind of like you're holding that tray again. Sometimes even this motion, you're going to feel it in that nerve a little bit, but if you are going out and you feel like your fingers are curling up like that, that's just because it's really tight, and don't try and force it. You want your fingers to stay straight the whole time. So if you can only go to there, that's okay. That's where I want you to go. If you can go further, that's great. But again, keep those fingers straight. Imagine that there is a string tied to your wrist and your head. And as you straighten out your hand, your head goes with it. And then as you come back up, your head comes back up. Now I'm turned just a little bit towards the camera. You want your head to be straight. So as you go, that ear kind of follows, it goes down with the head, and then you come back up. So again, just start off with like 5 of these, especially if you're going through all of them with me. So then the next one, again, getting into being a little bit more, you're going to feel a little bit more of a stretch feeling in that nerve. You're going to put your hand with your palm forward a little bit less than 45. So 45 would probably be about right here, just kind of down, almost like you're pointing towards the floor, but not all the way down towards the floor. Try and keep those fingers straight again. And now just kind of push down on your shoulder. This is just kind of setting it in place. A lot of times with that nerve pain, people kind of hunch up like that. You want to kind of push it down and keep it in that neutral position. And so as you hold it here, just at your wrist, you're going to keep those fingers straight and then pull them backwards and come back in. So you're keeping your head in the same spot for this one. You're just going back. You should feel that little bit of a pull and then come back in. So again, maybe just 5. If you're just doing one stretch at a time or one nerve glide at a time, you can do 10, but I wouldn't do more than 10. And then the final one is kind of what I say going into the stretch. You're going to feel a little bit more. You're kind of going in different directions versus when you're gliding or flossing, you're kind of moving stuff in the same direction. So this time you're going to put your hand all the way out, almost at the 90-degree level. So it doesn't have to be all the way up there, but pretty close. Your palm is going to be facing upwards. And then you're going to take your head and turn it away. And you might even feel something right there. And then if you're just feeling a little bit, then take your ear and pull it up towards the ceiling. So turning your head away from the hand, and then ear up towards the ceiling. So I can actually already feel that just a little bit, but if you want a little bit more to get that stretch / glide in there at your wrist, just put your hands downwards like that and then come back up. So you don't have to hold it, you're just kind of doing a continuous motion. But again, if you feel like your fingers are curling up as you go down, that means you just have too much tension on there and you're probably not ready for this one. So if you're doing this one, I wouldn't do the others. I would start off with the ones in the beginning because those are going to be more of those glides, a little bit less tension, and then as it feels better, you can work your way up. So those were your median nerve glides, flossing, or stretches. Remember, just do about 10. If you're doing all of them, just do about 5 of each because you really don't want to irritate that nerve. If you'd like to help support my channel, make sure and click on the link up here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking down there. And remember, be safe. Don't make that nerve mad. Have fun. And I hope you feel better soon.